I love this guy. We had great and extraordinary moments together.
It was a somber day at the state capitol as lawmakers said goodbye to a man who served alongside them for more than 20 years. After the silence and the respect, they'll turn to what lies ahead. Voters across Texas will head to the polls next week to cast early ballots, and it's just a taste of what's to come on Election Day in November. Closely watch the state Senate. Of course, they said goodbye to Senator Mario Gallegos today. To bring up the bills, 2/3 of the senators have to say yes, and Senator Gallegos' recent death means Democrats' voice is in jeopardy. Republicans could push through legislation without much of a fight, legislation that could affect things like your health care, your child's education. KXAN's political reporter Josh Hinkle has more.
Yeah, Leslie, you mentioned Mario Gallegos. He passed away this week after complications from a liver transplant, but his absence on the campaign trail for the seat that he hoped to recapture is very important. You see, Election Day is just a few weeks away. His name is still on the ballot, and Democrats want to make sure he still wins.
And I was honored to take the oath of office standing next to him in 1991, and I was honored to be at his bedside when he left.
In the back of their minds during his memorial at the state capitol, lawmakers likely wondered what will happen to their colleague's Senate seat.
To be advocates for the people that we represent, and that's what Mario did.
Favored to win before his death, Gallegos' vacancy means Democrats will soon ask voters to vote for the late legislator.
There'll be plenty of time to discuss politics next week.
It doesn't happen often where someone running dies so close to the election that their name must stay on the ballot. The last time was 1982, when State Senator John Wilson died a few months before the election, but he still won. That meant someone had to fill his seat, though, through a special election afterward. Here's how it would work this time around. Gallegos' name remains on the ballot, but he'll have to beat his Republican opponent, R.W. Bray. If he does, his office would be vacant, so Governor Perry would have to call a special election to fill it.
You truly lost a brother.
But depending on how long the governor waits to make that move, it could stay empty well into the legislative session, which begins in January.
I will tell you that Mario Gallegos is going to be elected overwhelmingly from his district. This is going to be the sign of love and respect for the people to go cast one last ballot for Mario Gallegos.
Now, it's too soon to say if and when the governor will call a special election. We won't know that until after the general election in November. But I am hearing if he does, it will be likely to be an expedited, very quick process sometime in the weeks to come after the election directly. And services for Senator Gallegos will extend beyond today into Houston, his hometown, throughout the rest of the week. We are live at the state capitol. Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.
Josh, thank you so much. Well, there's also the question, if there is that special election, who would run in Senator Gallegos' place, for his place? Some of the potential Democratic names thrown out so far: State Rep Carol Alvarado and also former Harris County Commissioner Sylvia Garcia. Well, just in case you did forget, early voting begins on Monday and it ends Friday, November the 2nd. Election Day will be on Tuesday, November the 6th.